So this is red, white Lukka here. New Lukka out of the latest set. 6 mana, 5 loyalty, +1 discard a card. If you discard a creature card this way, draw 2 cards, otherwise draw 1. -2, return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield that gains haste, exile it at the beginning of your next end step. So, we've got Drakuseth, as well as Ulamog as things we can floop back into play with it here. And then we've got some things like Ironcrag, Chandra, Coldsteel Heart, Mindstone to ramp up into these more expensive cards, as well as the 6-drop. Another access we have here is we've got Blood Sun, which says lands lose all non-mana abilities, which combos with Lotus Field, because Blood Sun stops Lotus Field from making you sacrifice 2 other lands when you play it. A card we got out of the latest set that also synergized with Lotus Field is Strict Proctor here. And this card kind of looks like a worse Hushbringer on the surface, but then you'll note that this card says when a permanent enters the battlefield, it stops it from triggering. So, like Blood Sun, Strict Proctor makes it so Lotus Field doesn't require us to sacrifice lands, which is sweet. So, both Blood Sun and Strict Proctor let this come into play as ramp effectively in our red-white deck. And this is just a main deck hate card, right? Like, there's a lot of miscellaneous enter the battlefield creature cards in this, enter the battlefield permanents in this format. You know, you've got Yorion decks, you've got Ephemerate was a card that was added. People have been experimenting with that. It's good versus goblins, it's good versus cats. Yeah, it does a lot of things in a lot of different places in addition to providing synergy with our Lotus Field here. Yes, Lotus Field will still enter tapped with this card, but it'll be untapped the next turn to make extra mana for you. So if you Strict Proctor on 2, you can play this on 3, and then on turn 4, you can have 6 mana, which is great. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see if our red-white Lukka deck here with the Blood Sun Lotus Field sub-theme can do some work. Thanks for sending me some of Bezos' money. I appreciate it, Winmegas. Howdy, extras. Yeah, this looks fine. Dunkill, thanks for 7 months. Welcome back. We played a Mizzix Mastery deck. Yeah, we played a really bad one. We played a blue-red Storm deck that was not good. What's the name of my new monitor? It is an AOC brand. Not to be confused with the politician. Speaking of Mizzix Mastery, our opponent is doing Mizzix Mastery things over here as well. We could lose the game next turn. So the opponent's deck is a combo deck that when it casts Emergent Ultimatum, you lose the game deterministically. And Mizzix Mastery lets them do that. Lets them do that on turn 4. Hey, DJ, thank you for the 26 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the tier 2. I have a turn 3 Drakuseth. I'm probably not going to get a turn 4, though. I share my resub message, but when I do, it's because the mobile client won't stop showing the reminder. God bless. Welcome back, Mask. Okay, I'm not dead yet. And now they've got Scholar of the Lost Trove in their bin here, which means in addition to Mizzix Mastery killing us, Unburial Rites also beats us now. Although I guess I could draw a Scholar of the Lost Troves to stop this, worth noting. Scholar's a hate card here in this matchup as well, which is great. Strict Proctor, yeah, that one. The card we're playing, chat.
campaign.
Well. Frick. There are 22 cards into their deck, looking for one of two different 4-ofs, so probably dead here. Couldn't cast Mind Stone. This only lets you cast one more spell. Flamescroll Celebrant is excellent. I actually don't have any graveyard hate in my sideboard, which might be wrong. So I've got eight pieces of permanent based. What play with ultimate deterministically kills us? I'm gonna tell you to Google it because it's convoluted. I am still waiting to hear back from Melee on format legality. Yeah, archives aren't submitting on MTG Melee currently. Don't have white for this. Okay. Do taxing effects impact ultimatum? They do, yeah. So if you have Redain makes you pay extra cost for all of them. Redain's a very good anti-ultimatum card. Ah, should have believed, chat. Should have believed. I almost kept the Lotus Field too. Yeah, like decks like what this opponent is playing, like, are probably really offensive in best of 1 Magic. But, like, in best of 3, when you sit down and, like, actually look at the list of things that, like, let you have meaningful counterplay against what this opponent is doing, the list is really long. And I mean, like, even in the deck that we're playing, right? Like, Strict Proctor and Revel in Silence are both brand new cards that add counterplay to it. Oh, you know, maybe I should have named white with this, because I have this white card in my hand. Yes, the next Hoaglandia Open is tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central. Less than a day from now. You hate the new sound of the bird click. Are looting and brainstorms rares? They are. Yeah, all of the cards new to all of the non-standard legal archives are rares or mythics. This card's got a lot of text on it. And because their combo depends on the Scholar, this card actually stops it from working too as long as it's in play, which is nice. If you've got something sweet you'd like me to play or see, deck submissions are great. Lee Moon Civi. Should Wizards start putting TLD? Listen, chat. Some of you have never looked at a Yu-Gi-Oh card before, and your comments in chat show it. You want to know what their goals are for this format? It feels like their goals for this format are having people play sweet games with awesome Magic cards. To be marginally more specific than that, it feels like their goal for this format is they're trying to introduce some of the sweet threat and payoff cards that Magic has had throughout its history while not giving perfect mana and the silly cards like, you know, fetch lands and brainstorms and or fetch lands and what's the other I was searching for? Fetch lands or like Thought Scour and stuff like that. I think I want to draw a card with this right now. This is a little bit of anti-synergy here. I have to pay to draw a card, but I don't think they can kill me here because this is in play. Yeah, that's exactly right, Violet. It feels like they want to bring us the sweetest cards out of Magic's other non-rotating formats while not having the most offensive bits. My optometrist uses Yu-Gi-Oh cards as an eye test. The Strict Proctor stack, it does. Man, where's my lands at, chat? Our deck plays so much mana. Are we at 26 lands? How many lands are we playing? Is there anything Proctor's their deck? Yeah, their combo card. Sphinx. Yeah, we're on 26 lands counting my Bolt lands. Really getting punished here for naming red on this instead of white, because if I had named white, I could play Mila out. And still hold up Revel in Silence, so definitely named the wrong thing with this. Yeah, Chandra's technically mana 2. We have rocks that are mana 2. We have 6 2-mana accelerants that are rocks. Yeah, I agree, Prospect. So, for reference, for people that are used to that are newer to Magic, no always beats yes. So this says you can cast a spell, but my Revel in Silence says you can't cast any more spells this turn, and my Revel in Silence beats there you can. Ooh, that's a good thought. Maybe I should let them I should let them ultimatum there, and then revel in response to ultimatum. Yeah, that's probably correct. Well, you can let them cast the ultimatum, but then respond to the ultimatum. Yeah, memory lapse is extra brutal when we're missing lands. I think we're just dead here at this point, unfortunately. We're just gonna die to these 5/5 flyers. What if you say please when you cast your card? Then does yes beat? No, it does not, unfortunately. Yeah, basically all of the sideboarding issues that they did, that we've had, are because they decided they wanted wish boards to be less good in best of one. As if having 15 lessons would make lessons playable. Yeah, exactly. I would advise you that anybody you heard that was making Brainstorm and Faithless Looting out to be this huge format-breaking deal and historic, I would caution you against listening to their Magic advice in the future. Because anybody that thought those cards were going to split the format in half doesn't understand that power level is contextual. Which is huge. Alright, so we get to murder this one. We get to play this. There's always a lot of those people. Or the Stoneforge Mystic is too good for modern people. Just chime and time again, no matter how many times you show them that that's not how things work, they just refuse to believe it. Yeah, Blood Sun puts them in untap too. Am I dead? Close to it. How is Citadel Storm? Serviceable. Not gonna crack the format by any means, but felt reasonable and fun. Oh, is that a good draw?
Yup, you're going down. Let's do this. Oh, yep, you're flammable.
You're flammable. And these are both 1-mana cantrips. Brutal. That is not the Ulamog I wanted for Christmas. Expensive Timmy cards, bad against Brazen Bar. We're news at 11. I don't even know if Helix is good here. I guess it kills the 3/3. Proctor's fine, right? Proctor makes their Crackling Drake not draw a card. It makes their other thing not scry. If they're on Borrower, Drakuseth's probably not playable, huh? Do I want some Ugin? He can exile their board out, right? Seems fine. Have a good one, Zoni. Maybe I should play this so I can do this next turn. I kind of like getting this down. They showed us Lightning Strike game 1, so like they could try and kill this. And if they kill this, I can Blood Sun. But I'm just doing a bunch of tire spinning here. Not really accomplishing a whole lot. Forming a Karn, tutoring up Damping Sphere. Man, Damping Sphere's legal on this client. I completely forgot that's a card. That card was crazy in Modern when it came out. That was such a big deal. Man, I totally forgot about Damping Sphere. The old wet ball.
Plan is crystallizing.
Coward! I know.
Can we get Emeria's call next turn? Eater of Days. Yep, the Eater of Days Clapbridge Troll curve. Yep, yeah, there were a lot of people. They went all in on that press pick. I think looting just like puts Phoenix on the map. I don't think it's anywhere near busted. Hey, Genran, thanks for the 25 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I have 2 birds at the moment, so we're gonna have to kill my Chandra. Can't quite kill this yet either, because they're still at 4. think it's a good addition to the format, for sure. The popularity of these Phoenix decks will likely die off in the coming weeks. It'll remain the people that just like playing them, which is a good thing. Like, adding decks to the format that have unique play patterns that people enjoy playing is exactly what card injections to Historic should be doing. Hoots is happening. Melee's been firing tournaments all day. I need to do a quick check. We might not be able to use the Historic tournament match mode for direct challenges. People might have to use a different challenge mode option, but it looks like it should be happening tomorrow as planned. There is currently a bug on MTG Melee that's preventing people from submitting deck lists with mystical archives in it, so I might have to toggle something for that too, but, you know, release weekend tournament fun.
A quest of mystery.
Well, Sporadic Penguin, my understanding is that they've been firing tournaments on Melee all day, and the issue with sideboard is only happening for some people. I feel like if there was an issue for everybody, they would have canceled everything by now. Well, that's awkward.
Peace is fragile and fleeting. Cherish what little you find.
We played a Sultai mid-range deck for a little bit at the very start of today that I stopped playing after like an hour because I determined it was too slow and fair. Yeah, Precipic Elves is the type of deck that, like, big brain grinder magic style, card game style people don't appreciate because it's bad against sweepers, and they hate losing to control decks. So they write off decks like Elves because they're bad. No, Elves was great before. No, you're wrong, Drunk Owl. Maybe it was good, but I'm the type of person Jeff just mentioned. Yeah, exactly that. Elves is bad against blue-white control. It's excellent in general. So if not now, how do we get fair mid-range decks playable? Mid-range decks usually aren't playable in formats like this. You play standard. Yeah, Goblins is much better against control though. Precipic. Goblins has staying power and grinds much better than Elves does, is the reason. Yeah, that's fair. Jund Food is mid-rangey. I also think Jund Food is worse than Jund Company on average. Okay, so they just put a bunch of Phoenixes into place. They, like, have to have a counterspell here, right? also, like, for the record, because I feel like I need to clarify, because people have very different expectations and don't understand what I talk about when I say good or ideal. Like, most of the decks people play in these formats aren't very good or ideal, chat. Like, this deck that we're playing right now, can we win matches with it? Yeah, definitely. Could you top 1200 with something similar? Probably, if you play well and you play enough. But, like, basically, I never expect a tried and true mid-range deck when someone says, Jeff, what do you think are the best decks in Historic? And I'm like, Jund Company, Black-White Auras, you know, Sultai Ultimatum. Like, I don't expect to ever list off a mid-range deck when someone asks that question to me. It doesn't mean there aren't decks that classify as mid-range that you can't win games with it, or even top 1200. Like, Magic's a game about playing decks that you enjoy, and there's probably a selection of mid-range decks that fit that descriptor. But that descriptor in my mind is different than when someone says, Jeff, is mid-range one of the best decks in this format? It's like, no, probably not. Probably won't ever be. And they do have negate here. That's sad. Someone was asking in chat, and sorry I missed your question the first time, when I plan to do the vintage-style tournament for a Hoaglandia Open. Probably before rotation, I think. Nothing firmly set in stone, but probably before rotation. And honestly, press a pick, I'd strongly argue that formats where... What is a legacy style tournament? What is vintage style? Basically, an arena tournament with no ban list. So you can play Natural Order and Swords to Plowshares and Demonic Tutor and Oko and, what are the other cards? Uro, Fires of Invention, Channel, Lightning Bolt. Yeah, exactly. Basically, we'll do a tournament with every card that exists on Arena being legal. There's a lot of cards that exist on Arena at this point that aren't legal in Historic, so... Are you listing out banned cards or spelling out a deck list? Yes. Hey, thanks for the sub-gift, Jace. Yeah, I think we'll probably do one of those before rotation. I think there's a chance that Standard's gonna be kind of medium until rotation happens. And while Historic's great, I don't want to do all Historic tournaments for, you know, the next 4 or 5 months while we're waiting. So we'll do mostly Historic, and then we'll do one of those. Like, that format's probably not fun to play all the time, but I think doing it once a year or something's probably funny. Like, I probably don't want to play it on the ladder every week. Hey, thanks for the entire year of support, Hex. Welcome back. Well, there's only 15 cards left in their deck, chat. So Daddy Ulamog is hungry. Yeah, exactly like that, HJ. Like how SCG did a no-ban list modern tournament. Yeah, another idea is that instead of doing no ban list, we could do vintage style and restrict some of the cards, but that's more complicated to keep track of. Citadel go. Citadel was good. It was fun. No, Jay, you always beat them by decking them if you can. Should have paused the draw step to helix them for still had all these. Well, to be fair, they lose the game at the beginning of their draw step, so we have to do it during their upkeep. I could have attacked with the other creatures too, you know. Daddy Ugin, come and exile the board. Do 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 do, Daddy Ugin. Boo do 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 do. What do we think? Santa Baby a good tune for Daddy Ugin, or should we pick something else next time? I go either way. Felt a little bit forced. It's a creepy song. I mean, you're not wrong. I can Lukka this turn off the Ironcrag feat, but then I can't Ugin next turn. I'm definitely playing a tap land. Do I cast Mila or do I hold up Helix? I can cast Mila. Mr. Sandman, Daddy Ugin, bring me a bowl, do. It's just like Ghostfire, do. I love me some Daddy Ugin, Mr. Ugin. Do. Yeah, I can work with that. Seems reasonable. Ugin definitely strikes me as the type of person to run over Grandma. It's hard to use the word daddy and not have it be creepy unless you're a small child. Listen, don't you kink shame me. Daddy Ugin knows just what I like, okay? Mr. Keta. Is hot skip and a jump. It did. Mardu Dragon did not get played today, Kraken. That'll be up sometime next week. Feels like they're clinging to a negate for dear life. You know, I wonder if I'm supposed to board in the Revels in this matchup. So that way I could use them to preemptively counter spells or stop counter spells. Feels like that might be a reasonable thing to do. One could argue I was a master at baiting chat.
Ignore draconic talents.
If they floop 2 Phoenixes into play here plus Lightning Strike, they can kill Papa Ugin. They don't kill Daddy this turn. We get to go ahead and play Emeria's Call and then maybe Shatterskull Smashing next turn. Is there a Mom Pod deck that's any good? Yeah, so last season, there was a Vanafear combo deck that finished. Look at the last Hoaglandia open, actually. You go to my website here, the Hoots page on my website, and click the previous deck list. There's a Vanafear. And fun fact, I believe the person playing the Vanafear deck in the last open that got, like, top 8, their second match loss was to them timing out on Arena, not to actually losing. Oh, Pod Mom can use Brainstorm. Oh, that seems wonderful. That's super big brain. No second Phoenix, no second Phoenix. Oh, they already have the second Phoenix. Yikes. All right, so we want to draw a second Ugin or an Ulamog here. Do I have a custom Colossus shirt in the works? Not at the moment. Pod Mom plus Brainstorm build around in.
I did all I deemed appropriate.
Do you have negate number 2? Usually people buy me dinner before they stroke me about it. It's disdainful. Yeah, maybe these Iron Crank feats are bad. These post-board. Weird schooler. Thanks for re-upping. Welcome back. One of your finest Ulamogs, please. Just casual 18 cards into our deck without our 4 of. That was a misclick, but it probably doesn't matter. Hey, thanks for the tip, Cody. Be happy to get that one added. There is currently an issue with MTG Melee not accepting Mystical Archive cards. We'll be a little bit lenient tomorrow on the deadline for exact submitting a couple minutes past normal because of that. If it's not sorted in the next couple of hours, I'll make some adjustments so that it doesn't validate. You can just submit anything. Yikes, they're gonna put some Phoenixes back into play here. We dead then? Looks like it. I guess I can Helix one of them. Hey, it's recency bias Iron Crank. Nah, Iron Crank beats almost always bad. We're being honest with ourselves. But I think I'm gonna cut him in general. Just the types of things you're ramping up into tend to not be particularly amazing. Especially when you have other ramp cards like these and Chandra and stuff. I think I should board in Flamescroll Celebrant against those decks probably from now on though. Just gonna put a couple Ugins in the main. I want a couple of Planeswalkers for the sideboard. A couple of big Chandra for the control decks. What is that sideboard screen? A travesty. Someday, chat, that sideboard interface will be listed in a textbook on user interface design. I'm not going to tell you what it will be an example of. But it will definitely be an example of something in a user interface design textbook. Okay. I doubt it's replacing the picture of Moto that they have right now. Sure you know. This is a Lukka deck.
You and I are gonna take him out. This'll be easy. Gonna hurt.
Change tactics.
Okay. So opponent's got Unburial Rites and Scholar in here. So they need that they could kill us this turn. If they Faithless Looting a ultimatum into the bin here, they can Unburial Rites this turn. Ultimatum plus land tier does it? Yep, there's an ultimatum. Come on, one time, no untapped land. Alright, I'll let the opponent, people ask you what makes them deterministic. I'll let our opponent click through it. So ultimatum is deterministic in this format, chat. With the right combination of cards. So they get Final Parting here, which entombs plus Demonic Tutors. So you can't give them, if you don't give them Final Parting, they could theoretically brick off, I believe. But they also have a Time Walk in their bin here, so like also not really. So they have Omniscience and they get an extra turn. All right, now we're dead. Absolutely hate the new counterspell that exiles everything because I have to constantly explain to people in Twitch chat why that card's not good. When Day9 was doing his set review, And he was just like, I hate this card as a meta choice because I'm going to have to constantly explain to people why they shouldn't play it. And just like, when I was watching him and he said that, I like felt it in my soul. I was just like, you're not wrong, Sean. You're not wrong. To set a low bar, that card is less bad than Unmoored Ego and Necromentia. It's like slightly less bad than those, but it's like also worse. While it's better than those, it's worse than like Negate and Disdainful Stroke, generally speaking. Yeah, and the TLDR, like, the more nuanced reason of, like, why it's generally worse than Negate and Disdainful Stroke is that, generally speaking, you're applying pressure while you're disrupting your opponent, and the tempo exchange of negating or disdainful stroking their 8-mana play, their 7-mana play or whatever, should generally be enough to win you the game on its own. If that makes sense. I think we're just dead again, right? They get to Unburial Rites. And this is why their deck is so good, right? Like, they're not even full combo killing us, but they're Unburial Rightsing Scholar, which is casting Aldarune's Epiphany. And then we're just dead, right? And another reason why, like, the Test of Talents isn't good is, like, if you told me I was only going to play against this deck, this Ultimatum deck, yeah, sign me up, I'd play a bunch of Test of Talents. But formats like what this format is live and die by people playing so many different decks. And, like, you can't just play that and, like, have a good experience, generally speaking. You're gonna, like, play against things where, like, you wish it was Negate or Disdainful Stroke, and your narrow card isn't playable. Alright, so Proctor means maybe we're not dead next turn.
Ugh, I will fight alongside weaklings.
I have a blocker for their creatures now. Go to the Bobcat. Thank you for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Gosh, Rip Apart is so good. They still don't have an ultimatum in here, though, right? So if I draw a land next turn, I can Ulamog them. Land, come on, land. Hit me, dealer. Hit me, dealer. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I do get a redraw with Lukka. That's true. So the problem is, I want Lukka to put Strict Proctor into play here. Nah, garbage time is an old sports phrase.
It's my turn. This'll be easy.
Always the next card. Next 2 cards. I think Hex 3 cards. I think they have enough mana that they beat Strict Proctor here at this point. Hey, Raider, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Yeah, just Ulamog isn't enough. Yeah, I needed Ulamog plus Proctor here to take them off of land so Proctor could deny this from happening. Nah, I wanted it to block. I'm aware it had haste. Are we dead? I don't know. Let's see what they do. Alright, so what's in their bin? Alright, so there's a time warp in their bin. And they found 3 ways to cast time warp. Well. Yeah, it's exactly what they are. They're an all-in combo build.
Defeat is a betrayal I won't tolerate.
Hey, Dirty Goblin, thanks for the prep support. Alright, and that's lethal, right? They have an extra turn here. Let's try one more. Our deck seems kind of slow and fair, though. Hey, good games, Two Punter. We are going to be doing some experimenting with the direct challenge this evening to see what exactly the status of that is. If you are playing in the Hooglandia Open tomorrow, make sure you keep your eye on that Open announcements channel in the subs Discord for details on that. They already used Final Parting, JW. What time is the Open? The Open starts at 10 a.m. Central tomorrow. Which is approximately 12 plus 6, 18 hours from now. Huh? Guess we just do this. It's a shame this can't make two different colors. Who's co-casting tomorrow? CGB will be my co-commentator. Overt go blue. Casual 9 mana worth of spells here with 4 lands. I think the Ultimatum deck's pretty reasonable, all things considered from what I've seen so far. There's a lot of different sideboard ways to attack it. I think if Magic was a best of 1 game, I'd expect the Ultimatum deck to get banned, but I think in best of 3 with sideboards, there's plenty of things that allow you to have counterplay against it. I'm gonna block here. I'm not gonna block here because of Stomp. Yeah, rest in peace, Tormod's Crypt. Ton of cards that give you meaningful counterplay. Yeah, we're gonna die to a collected company, chat. Uh-oh. Sure, deal. Leyline of the Void is historically legal. Drakuseth ain't afraid of no ghost shit. Drakuseth ain't scared. Ulamog's probably slow here. Bring in some cheap removal. An Ugin at the top end. You trim some of these to get rid of the ramp, be more interactive. Helix has been a fine card in the format. Fine. Relander, technically. Sometimes very large dragon is good when con. This deck is very fair but fun to watch when the opponent forgets to put removal in their deck. Or Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower also has not been our friend. Well, I guess you could argue Brazen Borrower's removal in a way. We gotta kill the Crafty Companion here. But it looks to be playing something similar to the Naya Company deck we jammed for a bit yesterday. How was Storm? Citadel Storm was sweet. Blue-red Storm, the build that we played, felt bad. So it'll be two different Storm decks up on YouTube tonight. Hey, yo. I say hey, yo. Lotus Field gonna make some mana. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, that's just rude. Guess I'll settle for Strict Proctor putting my Lotus Field into play cheaper. Ha! It stops rampaging for us to done. The Teamer deck was sweet today. I like the Teamer Magma Opus deck a lot. We are unfortunately 1 mana short of being able to Ugin next turn, but I will be able to Chandra plus deck in stone, so that's nice. I'm gonna block here, because if they have Bone Crusher Giant, I want to at least kill their creature. If they have Stomp and I block here, they get to kill it with first strike damage. Man, that's rude. Man, that's rude. Alright, well my read on the Stomp was good. Could go either way. I'm gonna want to Helix their follow-up here, and we'll play into Shatterskull Smashing the Thalia next turn for 4 mana. Are you gonna Time Walk me? This seems like a loose use of this, like, I'm not really doing much on a turn like this, he says before he draws Blood Sun. Oh, I guess I should have played the tap land, huh? I gotta take Shatterskull Smashing here, right? Otherwise I get to just do that next turn and kill both of these. I don't know that Nexus of Fate would be too good for Historic, more so that it would just be like miserable to play against. I think too often card game players ask themselves the question, hey, is this too good? When they should be asking themselves the question, hey, does this addition add value to the format? We played the new dragon yet. We have not. We have a reanimator build of the red-white dragon in the queue that we'll get to at some point, but not as of yet. Gosh, I think even after playing 9 decks in the last 2 days, we're going to have close to double-digit decks still in the queue. Be a busy week next week. If you like flashy things, Teamer Flash was great. If you like, everybody's favorite Ugin chat, the concession Ugin. If you like Storm, Citadel Storm was good. There's another deck that was good too. I forget what there's so many. My day's been a blur. We've been live for over 8 hours. Oh, this is the 6th deck today? Oh yeah, this is totally the 6th deck. We played 10 decks in the last 2 days. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more. We'll do one more and then I'm gonna call it a day. Cause I gotta do some prep stuff for the open tonight. I gotta see my wife for a little bit. Gotta figure out what the deal is with arena direct challenges and make sure that's gonna work and how it's gonna work. Again, Storm's Fury, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I will not be playing. Ideally, I'm not going to be playing viewer decks this week. We're going to have a tournament tomorrow, and then Sunday, I'm going to be playing in a 5K historic tournament, and then Monday, we'll be back to doing deck submissions. All next week, playing lots of sweet piles of things. We'll probably try some standard at some point, but I'm also not optimistic about that format, so. I'd be surprised if there's good things to say about that format. So, little bit of anti-synergy here with Proctor and Blood Sun. So I'm gonna wait to play this until after I draw a card with this. How's the sun looking today, opponent? Is it sweltering?
Hey, over here. Oh, today's my lucky day.
I won't hide from you. Let's take it back.
What deck am I playing on Sunday? I don't know. What's gonna win the Hoglandia tournament tomorrow?
You know what? I'm not.
Feels like we're sliding into garbage time. Red-white prowess will win tomorrow. Yeah, that would be the... If I was a gambling man, you said, Jeff, you have to pick a new deck that's going to win tomorrow. Red-white prowess would probably be my pick.
Hold that thought.
Are you possessed? Chat, I think my child is possessed. Someone send help.
Keep up the pace.
I'm gonna make them counter these spells first. Maybe just this one. Our dragon got hit by cancel culture. Ooh.
Feels good to get back to the battlefield. This is a tactical retreat.
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hands, we'll make it, I swear. They've still got 4 cards and an Azcanta.
Play with fire, huh? Yup. You're going down.
We're yelling timber. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. Sensor's a good one to know about. Yeah, it's a winnable game of Magic. Not 100%, but not 0% either.
This'll be easy.
Yeah, keeping their sustained card advantage off the board bodes well for you. They have Azcanta, obviously, but Azcanta ties up their mana a little bit, which is nice. Sun's a card they have to counter because of Azcanta. Like, they have to do something about this Chandra before she ultimates.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Caper Lich. I appreciate it. Alright, so there's an answer to Drakuseth. But now they have to answer Chandra, right? So they have a draw step, a look, they have an Azcanta activation, they need like a cast out, right? Or another Teferi.
Let's slow this down. You need to take a time out.
Hey, to the people that were testing issues, the people that were having issues with sideboards working in Direct Challenge, are your decks set to Historic or Traditional Historic? Does anybody know? Is anybody in chat that was having an issue with Direct Challenge and your sideboard not showing up properly? On the Discord earlier said they're on Traditional Historic, but that was last night. Alright. You want to guess Sphinx's Revelation? Oh, Daddy Shark. Sure. Yeah, that game was closer than a lot of chat wanted to let on than it was. We're in that game up until the time the shark happened. You know, we had a window where they had to answer the Chandra, and they had it, and so they got it, so. Another matchup where Flamescroll Celebrant seems excellent. Letting us silence them for a turn seems strong. Yeah, people confuse a deck feeling bad to play against with you being behind in the matchup, but they're really just not the same thing. Like, yeah, the counterspell controllers like feel bad to play against, but all right, Flamescroll Celebrant, you ready to do the full 20, bud? What's going on, Chaos? Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Good afternoon. You get Lightning Helix tier. I don't know about well placed. We don't have a lot of actual card advantage. Is definitely an issue against blue-white. Yeah, check-in is basically saying you're there for the start of the actual tournament. So check-in on Melee opens usually 1 hour prior to the tournament starting. And you actually don't even have to click a button to check in. You just like have to have the player controller page open. Have a good one, Schooler. Catch you this weekend, hopefully. All right. Do you have a Lightning Helix? Wrath the God. Yep. I mean, I said he was gonna go the distance, and he went most of the way. Alright, no Tepra here of Dominaria. Yeah, very possible they boarded down on spot removal. Right, I mean, if we just like draw lands for the rest of the game, we're not in a terrible spot, huh? Yikes.
I know we need to move quickly.
What an astute observation by Twitch chat. Yes, we lose to the Teferi ultimate. Riveting commentary. I agree with you, member of Twitch chat. Teferi ultimate wins the game. Commentate Hoots for free. If an asteroid hits my house, I'm probably dead. Yep, big moon. Hey, good games, but this one felt pretty lackluster. Only having Chandra's card advantage. Our interaction was kind of clunky and awkward. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say other than meh. Just pretty mediocre overall. Didn't feel like we were it didn't feel like the thing we were trying to do with putting these creatures and planeswalkers into play was inherently powerful enough to compete with what was going on in the format. Is the TLDR. So this one felt like a miss, and I don't think I'd try anything like it again. There's a red-white mid-range deck we're gonna poke at some point in the queue. Early next week, most likely, but this one did not feel like it was doing something I was interested in poking at. All right, at any rate, I've been live for almost